Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to the studio, people. Long time on forward. It's just been a few hours, but we are back in the studio, people. Jason Gooner representing for Jason Gooner TV, and today we have another episode of Reasoning Time. Remember, people, this is a YouTube platform, but please do like, share, and subscribe. That's the best way to support the show. Please just make sure you locate the thumbs up button wherever you're watching. TV, laptop, iPhone, Android, anything, whatever device you're using, just drop a thumbs up on the video. All right, people. This is the episode where we get into the details as it pertains to the national teams. Today, the focus will be on the Reggae Boyz as they had a friendly in South Africa, and there was some controversy. We had different results from different sources. We have some game footage that are going to point out a few things that were a bit puzzling to me. And yeah, we're going to have the discussion about what really happened in this damn friendly. But yeah, that's something I want to talk about. Definitely, of course, there was an interview with Rudolph Speed. I think it was yesterday. It might have been, or maybe even 2 days ago now. I was just going to react to a few things that we heard in that interview. Then, of course, the Reggae Girlz did have two friendly matches in Panama. And we're going to discuss, maybe it wasn't the greatest showing in terms of output. Had some good aspects, had some bad aspects. And we know that some players were missing as well throughout the span of the team. So I want to see, is the the performances, are they really down to the players not being there, or is it a tactical thing? We're going to have that discussion today in the show. And then U20 had 2 games in preparation for their U20 championship entrance in July, and they played what was reported to be Haiti's U20 team, and also they played Miami Football Academy 1 day later. Now, the result in the first game ended up 9-0, and there was rejoicing amongst all Jamaican fans, as there should be when you win a game 9-0. But I do want to have some serious conversation with the organizers of this competition, and also, in addition to that, the JFF, because it was reported from the JFF that the game took place against Haitian U20, and yeah, I have some issues with that. Just based on the fact that I would have seen the Haiti U20 play in the qualifiers, because they are also in the U20 championship coming up next July. And these players didn't look very familiar to me. So, I think that's something that we're going to discuss today in the show, and also talk about the U20's performance as well, because we did get a chance to watch both games. So, a lot to get through in this show. I'm doing this show at this time because this is the night of Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Now, England is playing Costa Rica. My hope was that this would be the end of the second half for this England game, but there was a delay due to rain in Orlando, and so because of that, the game started an hour later. So it's just the first half. I think it's first half stoppage time now. But we still are gonna do the show now because we want to get through all the content and know, say, yeah, we have some time to get some food and watch the game. All right. Yo, 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 up full nitro. Oh, go on. Bless up Conrad in the building. That did with laugh. Should we read much into friendly matches? I mean, it's a decent barometer. I mean, yes, the intensity levels can be different. But I think when you're this close to the World Cup, these friendlies do matter because for the most part, the teams that are going to the World Cup at least, their teams aren't really set in stone. They would want to impress, like a player like Madueke today getting a chance to start. He's not really seen as a starter, right? But if he's to play today, oh my gosh, penalty. Yo, the Costa Rica player, them are going to beat up the ref. We need help, Jason, the ladies, them, yeah. Are you saying we are mirroring our scammers? Soup. Yeah, man, I see it. Oh, I don't know. I mean, Jaja, rough call. Apparently, that number 2, the right back, he could play for Jamaica. That's what I just heard. Somebody was just telling me that a while ago. He's getting run ragged by Anthony Gordon today. And there is VAR here, so they're checking it. They're making her go and look. So usually if a penalty is given and they're telling the ref to go look at the screen, it's probably going to get overturned, or they're trying to convince her that she shouldn't have given a penalty for that. He did kind of just pitch himself down when you see the replay. Let me see. Yeah, nah, he's looking for that one. He's looking for that one. He sold the ref one there. I think that will be picked up. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about today, people, is the whole fiasco that was the friendly with the Reggae Boyz and South Africa. Now, up to right now, if I search Jamaica, South Africa, June 6, 2026, right? I'm just gonna show you guys what comes up. And this has changed since the day of the game. So at one point it was saying one thing, now it's saying something different. Yeah, so that penalty was taken away, which is smart. All right, so this is what comes up when I search this. So 1-1, June 6, right? They have highlights. They do have highlights. Nice. So there are highlights there, but let me go back. All right. So 1-1. ESPN to this day still has this. So they haven't gone back and changed the 1-0, right? Nothing really there. No stats or anything, just 1-0 to South Africa. So there's still places out there that are showing the game as 1-0 to South Africa. Now, Fox Sports. And this is strange on Fox Sports. Look at this. So Fox Sports, them have it like this. 1-1, right? South Africa scoring in the first half. Jamaica no goals, but then them tie 1-1. So I'm like, but that don't make no sense, right? So that's Fox Sports. So ESPN have it 1-0 to South Africa. Fox Sports 1-1. Google itself has 1-1 pop up when you put it in, right? Then you have where's the there's one in particular. Let's see. Goal. Global Soccer have it 1-0. A policy in the first half. So there's all kind of different things going on. Bless up Marvin Ferron in a building. So yeah, Global Soccer or Global Sports Archive. Them have it 1-0 to South Africa. Goal by a policy in the 32nd minute. See, Football 24 have it 1-1. Lyle Foster in the 32nd minute and Dwayne Atkinson in the 90th minute. So for whatever reason, there are multiple different sources about this game. Now, the South Africa coach has been quoted. So I want to show you guys that article to see if this gives us any yeah, Bruce criticizes. Okay, cool. So let me show you guys this article right here, people. Remember to smash up the like button as the people them roll in. Want to get this to 100 likes if possible. Definitely to the 50 without question, right? All right, so let me show you guys this article. This was June 7th, so a day after the game. Head coach Hugo Bruce expressed disappointment following South Africa's underwhelming performance in Saturday night's international friendly against Jamaica. That's Bruce there. The match was played behind closed doors at Estadio Hidalgo in Pachuca, Mexico, where the South African squad is currently camped. Despite taking the lead, Bafana were unable to hold and settle for a draw after conceding later in the game. The draw against the North American side extends their unbeaten run, as they were also held to a goalless draw against Nicaragua in their last match before leaving South Africa. The game against Jamaica is their last preparatory match before they play against Mexico, which is their 2026 FIFA World Cup opener. After a scoreless opening half, Lyle Foster put South Africa ahead early in the second period. Right, so that right there was the first time that I had seen any report that South Africa's goal was indeed scored in the second half, because all the reports were saying that Foster would have scored in the first half. So that leads me to wonder who put out that the left winger Apollis scored in the 32nd minute, because even places that have the score as 1-1 are all putting the goal for Foster in the 32nd minute, just like Apollis' goal in the phantom 1-0 scoreline that we know now was not the truth. After scoreless opening half, Foster did that, boom. However, the Reggae Boyz responded to Dwayne Atkinson, who found the equalizer to deny Bros' side victory. The Belgian coach admitted he was far from satisfied with what he witnessed and expected more. The performance was not what I expected, right? He said the technical team would carefully review the match to identify shortcomings and make the necessary improvements before the team's next assignment. We need to analyze the game properly, understand what went wrong, and work on correcting these issues over the next few days so that we are fully prepared for our first match against Mexico. So he said he was worried about the players' mentality, disappointed performance. He thought they were getting closer. Yeah, so he overall was not happy with the display. That his team, didn't do everything that he would have wanted them to do on the day. And that right there was the first time that I would have seen that the goal was indeed scored in the second half by South Africa, because when I watched the clips that were out, I think I saw a few pages put it out, but I saw some extended clips for the first time on a site. I think it's Jamaica Football Diary is the name of them. Or something like that. What is it called? All right, hold on. I might have to search it next way. I don't know if Bam put out the extended ones on his page. I don't think so. I know I saw some South African outlets as well with it. Yeah, so it's not the greatest footage in the world, but we're glad we get to see something. So this is the clips from the game, right? And I think this is the first half. So I want you to notice that behind our goal, there's no tunnel right now on these clips. Right? So they're showing South Africa kicking to the left in the first half. Good ball. Good recovery by Webster, our left back. South Africa on the attack this time. Boys Clark cuts it out, rolls it out to King. King comes back inside, cover, King, back to Boys Clark. Boys Clark to Bell. Open up your body, Bell. Look wide left. No. Back to Boys Clark. Looking. Back to King. King. Nothing there. And here's the issue. Poor pass. Easy finish by Foster. Now, you see behind the goal there's a tunnel. So all they're telling us that the goal was in the first half. It definitely was in the second half. What's confusing about these highlights is now South Africa again is kicking to the goal with no tunnel. So they have showed us the goal that was in the second half, really, but spliced them in the clips in some first half highlights. So that right there was like a red flag for me, like something is going on. Clearance off the line. I think that's Webster again. This is all first half highlights. Foul, shot by a Palace, saved by Boys Clark. John Bell clean up. All right, now we're in the second half. And we've already seen Foster's goal. Here's Foster down the left. Cut back. Poor. I think that's Tafari Chambers now in the game for Boys Clark. Here's Jamaica attacking down the left. Webster can't get to it. Ooh, good try. No good football here. Busy. Straight at the keeper. Not a bad combination there. Long throw. Cleared. Cleared again. Second ball won by, you know who number 14 is. Flicked on. Busy. Tries to get a crossing. Gets back to him. And then twist and turn and finish. So that was the 1-1 all there. And you could see from the celebration by King and some other players, you know, how animated they were. Definitely could tell it was late in the game. Definitely better to draw the game than lose. So that was the clips there. But I thought, you know, with all the things going around about the scoreline, I love that these clips had surfaced because then you can put it to bed. Yeah, Jamaica Football Diary. I know that's where I had seen this. So yeah, Jamaica Football Diary, big up for providing these clips. I don't think the South African team was so happy about these being out there, but I was happy because I could put to bed all the speculation. Because in the yeah, because when the game immediately finished, I'm in a Jamaica media group, right? And basically Simon Preston is the admin, and he's the only person that puts information inside the group. So immediately after the game ended, he put Jamaica nil, South Africa 1 full time. I'd say about a minute or two passed, and he deleted that and put Jamaica 1, South Africa 1 full time. Saying that Busy Atkinson scored an equalizer in the 90+2 or 90+3, whatever it was. So yeah, I think that confusion and me just being the inquisitive person that I am, it really made me wonder what was going on. So I have a theory on what probably went down with this whole thing and how some sites and outlets would have had it at 1-0. The fact that a lot of places had the wrong goal scorer for South Africa in that 1-0 victory. I honestly feel that since it was played behind closed doors, maybe South Africa thought they could get information out to the public, contrary to the actual result. Now, for that to be possible, that's something that they would have, I would think, talked to the Jamaican Federation about, or talk to Speed about, or whatever, and say, listen, we're just going to put out 1-0, no matter how the game go, or whatever the case is. But the minute that you put out a scoreline, and then the Jamaican contingent who played in the game or coached in the game let out anything about the game, you're going to everybody's going to know that what you said was foolishness. So I'm just shocked that at how that information could have gotten out there without someone trying to force that information to people. Because the game ended 1-1. The clips show that the goal wasn't even scored in the first half by South Africa. No matter how you try splice the Lyle Foster goal into the clips of the first half, it's blatantly obvious that the background behind the goal is not right. If he indeed scored in the first half, he wouldn't have had a tunnel behind the goal if he scored in the first half. He would have been kicking to the end that Jamaica scored their goal in. But that wasn't the case. So that article that I pulled up before that had it shown that Lyle Foster scored early in the second half, that is really what happened in the game. Based on the clips and based on what we saw in the video of the background behind the goal. So my theory is South Africa tried to put out a scoreline, fool everybody, and I guess they didn't understand the power of, one, their fans wanted to see their players play, and two, the Jamaican fans wanted to see their players, because I knew some kind of clips would have to leak. Somebody would be in the stadium with a device to tape it. And that's exactly what happened, because a lot of clips came out. So I would like to believe that wherever these clips came from, whoever was taping it was taping the entire match. And, they just said, hey, we're going to leak out some clips, because it did look like they showed a lot of South Africa highlights. The game might have very well gone that way, but I don't know. I'll never know until I can see the full footage. But second half goals, it looked like it was. That's the only thing I don't understand, because I think even when I heard from people that spoke to people in the Jamaican contingent at the game, they were still saying that the goal was scored in the first half by South Africa, which doesn't make any sense based on the clips that have come out. So yeah, so that was just crazy to me. That was just crazy to me. So I think the South African Federation got caught trying to pull a fast one, and the JFF, well, I think the JFF, just the Jamaican contingent that was there, got the word out there that no, that's not how the game finished. So that's crazy that they would try that, but that's the only thing that makes sense to me, because they just made up completely everything. A goal was deep scored in the first half. Big up, real baller. Let's say, man. How South Africa top the group with Nigeria is crazy. Yeah, look, sometimes in qualifiers, things just fall your way. And South Africa did play some good matches and good games in that qualifying cycle. For sure, they were looking good. Right now, they just don't look as good. I don't know what's going on with them, but they don't look as solid. Clark had the same lack of judgment in successive games. Have to correct this. Yeah. Boyz Clark, like similar to what he did on that play, did have some mistakes with his feet. You can see that there's more of an emphasis on building out right now at the moment. And if you're playing friendly matches, this is the time to definitely do that. You want to experiment somewhat. You're gonna go through your growing pains, but the sort of mistakes that we're seeing, they're not lovely, and they're a bit too frequent for me as well. You know what I mean? So, 2 matches in a row having a mistake like that to cost a goal, that's not really a good look at all. And yeah, he's gonna have to correct it. My hope is that he can get to the required level I think he needs to get to really make that push again to be a national representative, because I don't think the National League is where it's at if he's trying to become a staple in the national team. Big up yourself, one in the building. Wagwan, G. You missed my World Cup show earlier, for watch it back. Got through half the groups today. We're going to get through the rest of the half of the groups tomorrow. Yeah, man. Hopefully, have some time tomorrow in the afternoon part in England, How would South Africa benefit from that lie? They have to face the real music, and now it's not looking good for them. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of the fan base just kind of being at ease and saying, okay, we won a game before the World Cup. I think that was the reason why. But you're right. I mean, at the end of the day, the game of play. So who cares? South African Federation is known to be infamously crooked, much more than the JFF. Well, I don't follow up the South African Federation enough to make that judgment, but I know you're a person that read up a lot, so I will take your word for it. Maybe Clark is just an overhyped English developed baller. Rob Smith, maybe he is. I don't know if that's true. I don't think that's true. I don't think he's overhyped. I have been blatantly honest about him. I have been disappointed in what's happened from his time at Reading to now. I was happy that he was able to at least get football again, playing in the National League, but um, I think it's more of an indictment on the pool of our goalkeepers that he's even still considered at this current moment as like, the successor to Blake. It really just shows that we haven't done a good enough job either developing or recruiting in that position. Because I do think that the reason why he got so exposed in the last 3 games is just the level that he's been playing, regardless of how little you view India or a B team version of Nigeria or South Africa, who's not one of the strongest teams going to the World Cup, but are going. That is a step up, I think, from a big time step up from what he was playing this season. So, the mistakes are bound to happen. But to say that he's an overhyped English developed baller, I think he's lost his way a bit in his career for sure. Because what I've seen of him lately is not what I would have predicted after seeing him play the U20 for us. He looked to really be on the right path. It does sound terrible. That's why he plays non-league ball. Did we play well? I think that's the first game I didn't see in maybe 15 to 20 years that was available to watch. I don't know what's wrong with me right now. No, 1-1. All there is Jamaican football diary. I just had it showing the little clips. It's about an 8-minute clip. So yeah. No, not that clock. Kanaya Boys clock. Yeah. You see what happened to Senegal today when they arrived in the US? No, what happened to them? I never see it. Earlier today I was doing the World Cup show, and then in between we did a prep for this show. It's Madman Madueke. Anybody see the chance Madueke missing the first half? Literally, it's like Madueke summed up. Brilliant run, brilliant touch for around the keeper, and then nothing. Always tit for tat with you, Rob. Because you hear some people call some local player overhyped. You run out when boys clock the foolishness, eh? That's why the conversation is constant, because for every Rob Smith, there's his opposite counterpart that gonna run out if a local player does some foolishness. So it's never ending. Don't know who overhyped him, but I had expected good things from him, but he has regressed as a player. Yeah. Look, you can be wrong about players. That happens all the time. It doesn't happen as frequently with me, but I'm just saying. People screaming for him to be in the national team for the last couple of years, says Rob Smith. Yeah, I realize he has some ability, but we have to calm down. We always get too excited too early. I see him play one game for Reading first team, and he got subbed off at halftime. Damn. Them search the man, them on the tarmac, also another African team. Yeah. Foolishness. Respect Richard Green. Yeah, man, you're a good, Madueke had a good try. King, man. Man ball can fly past posts. Yeah, so look, I want to keep the show moving nice and fluid. So what more I do know, people, is I would love to put on the screen now. Well, not even on the screen. Let's go listen to it. And it's Rudolph Speed talking. And we just listen to it for a little bit and react to some of it, right? Let me see. Interview. What's the name of it? I don't even know the man channel, you know. Robert from Irie FM, right? But I go just let that run. Big up to BAM Sports, you know. Go over there, go take it in. Hopeful Jairus. Not hearing anything. That's not good. Oh, sorry about that, people. Hold on there, people. Hold on. Man, no one not hear it. Me like idiot never turn on the sound. Alright, should be good now.
Congratulations on the job that you had.
Yes, thank you.
Good result against South Africa.
Yeah, really good. Everybody was happy, but it was like a lot of planning. We were able to get that result. Yeah.
When you were going into that game, was this something that you had in mind that would probably have happened?
Yeah, we're never afraid of any team. That's the kind of mentality we have. And as I say, if you bring the right tactics, most times than not, you have a chance. And we always start with a chance.
Was it the same kind of thinking going up against DR Congo when that was really a knockout game?
Yeah, we were positive against the Congo. We dominated possession, and we got a couple of chances to score. It was unfortunate. The goal that we conceded was something that we practice not to concede those. So we're always upbeat, optimistic, and trying to win every game we're playing. So I'm not really surprised that we got a decent result.
A lot of people seeing you. Well, you spoke with us last week on your way from the airport, coming from the Unity Cup, and you're here with us this week. I hear a lot of people saying they're not doing no interview with people.
Nobody asked me to do an interview. Who asked me?
I hear people saying that you're not coming on them program.
Who? Nobody asked me to come on a program.
So them just running off them out.
Yeah. I'm not afraid of anybody,
So why you think them don't want to ask you for interviews?
Look, I've been interviewed by everybody. There's nobody in Jamaica that I haven't been interviewed by.
Bloggers too?
Yeah. All the bloggers have been.
I mean, since the post World Cup, that is still the situation.
No, as far as I know, only 2 bloggers actually asked me to come on the program. And one of them, I don't know if I can have a conversation with that person. Him knew the English language, butcher patois. His vocabulary is not more than about 50 words. Difficult to have an interview with that type of person.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, big this one.
Wow. Yeah, man, a big this that, man. The man said, it's one thing we said the man can't speak like, the Queen's English, as some people would call it. But if you said the man butcher patois too, it's like, really? Like, boy, I never know say patois have standard too. I never know. Well, I guess no, I shouldn't say that. Patois have a standard, but brother, how do you butcher patois? I don't know, but yo, I'm a throw a word for Ryan. But to be honest, because of Ryan's style and because Ryan has a lot of viewers with very, very strong what I call it now, convictions about how they feel. Everybody knows if he went to Ryan for an interview, it would be great, because I don't think, the only thing I think would happen for sure is Speed would not quite open up like he would for others in his answers, because he would be defensive throughout the thing. So that's the only reason why I think it wouldn't be good, but not because of the reason why Speed said, right? Because it doesn't matter. Ryan can source good questions and read them out and ask them. Ryan can formulate good questions by himself in his own words as well. So I don't think, I mean, I know what he's saying is a bit tongue in cheek. He's not really, well, actually, he might think that about Ryan, but I don't think it's like that. I think Ryan has somewhat of a persona as a YouTuber, and in that persona is a ghetto youth where, for whatever reason, sadly, the stereotype of a ghetto youth is that him not gonna speak good English and him gonna speak patois and it's go bad. You understand? And him no business, right? So not saying that Ryan don't speak like that regularly, because I don't know Ryan outside I'm YouTube persona per se. I never chill with Ryan before. We've spoken before. And just because you speak like that don't mean you're dunce. That's the first thing, right? You may get your thoughts out in a different way, and that way might not be as accessible as it might have been worldwide, but in the Jamaican setup, where most of his topics would be geared around, everybody will be able to understand him. So I think it's a bit of a throw in a word for sure, but the thing is, like, Speed did say that the people that he has asked, or that have asked him, I should say, to get on his show, they have he has granted them the interviews, and there hasn't been many that reach out. Well, I did reach out to him, and the man basically read my message and has not responded. If you're busy, I understand, but you could at least respond and say, hey, I'll see if I have some time, or no, man, no time. But I have tried to reach out after hearing that to get him on the channel. I will see if that ever does happen. But I have reached out and asked for an interview from him. There's a lot of things I would love to ask him on this platform. So hopefully we'll see people. Maybe one day we'll get that interview soon. All right. So if you don't know him, let him know, say, we'll look for the interview. Actually, I think he's watching because he's typing right now. So yeah, I think maybe we'll get it one day based on that response. So people, let me play some more of this and react to it.
Mr. Speed, good night and welcome again, sir.
Good night.
Well, the first question from me is,
Razor.
I've heard people bowl the ball at you to say that Mr. Speed.
Let me stop the video. Mr. Speed make a good point. I need to tell you guys, it was today that I reached out. It was actually last night, but I'll give him today. I'll give him today because usually I have a 24-hour thing anyway. So technically, 24 hours never pass, but it was getting darn close to.
Mr. Fraser, Mr. Speed not join the list of coaches who go for the Ulva friendlies and leave out the local players. In your last matchup against South Africa, there were what? 8 local based players, Robert?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in that matchup. The first press conference you held at the GFF last year, I remember you set out some criteria as to how one would qualify to get into the squad. What if you could remind some of the people who were not aware of this?
Need a ride? Hertz has pairings for every adventure.
Oi.
See Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and
Going on, man.
Let me just correct that. There was 15 local players in the squad.
In the last one?
Yeah. When you say 15 persons were born in Jamaica. In the last
Okay.
Right? You're talking about who play in Jamaica.
Right.
Yeah, but I never ever pick a team from where anybody live or play. I just pick the best team that is available. As it relates to last year, when we picked that squad, that was a different set of criteria. I wanted all the players who was in prime form, peak form, to represent Jamaica. Because that was like there was a do or die games in both games. So now we're rebuilding. The criteria actually changed.
Okay. And a follow-up before Robert jump back in. In 7 games you have played so far, including 2 friendlies, the World Cup qualifiers where you defeated Caledonia and lost to Congo, the Unity Cup where you win 1 and lost 1, and now a draw against South Africa. In those 7 games, you have lost only 2 matches. What's the traction you're picking up from your naysayers?
I wish I didn't lose those 2. I really so I'm not pleased because I lost 2. I desperately wanted to win both of them. It's just that, you know, I am not the only one. Our team is not the only one on the field playing. You know, as I said before, look, the naysayers are a part of my journey. I'm happy to have them. I'm happy they are around. I'm happy for them. Some of them just cross the line and go overboard, but I don't have anything against them. I mean, it's a part of my training when I'm doing the pro license now. You can manage the media and manage criticism. It's nothing. I don't find it as anything. I'm good.
As you mentioned, pro license, there's an argument going around that you have said prior to being appointed as national coach on an interim basis that you don't want to hear or see anybody who don't have a pro license. I don't know if that is so or not.
No, but look here. You can't eat a cake and have it, you know. When I'm in the seat, I recommend what it should be. I am not in the seat. I'm making no decision at JFF now from December 15 last year, neither operationally or policy-wise. So I can't answer for any policy that they put out now.
Okay, fair enough. But as it is now, you are the holder of a license.
Yes, and I'm doing my pro.
Where are you in terms of the pro license?
I'm probably halfway, but if you see the curriculum, it's like corporate governance. You know, me have that in my other training. It's like how you operate in a professional or a national environment for maximum for you to perform at your maximum in those environments. You get, you know, good results. You know how me do that with Cavalier. I mean, that's a professional environment, and you know how me maximize from where what me had to where me want to go. Also, it talks about the coach, whatever philosophy the coach have, or you maintain it. Make sure say the development and the structures are there. So pro license is not teacher to coach, you know. It's for manage.
Pro license no teacher to coach.
No, you don't learn to
so
coach.
So which one of the license
from B and A, the teacher to coach, and even C, the teacher to coach in those. Pro license is for you to manage the environment where you know, manage the media, that is type of thing.
So the man who have a pro license is not necessarily a better coach than the man who have an A license.
No,
you just have a better managerial document.
Yes. And you must do it because I mean, when Sir Alex Ferguson was winning titles and the English FA come up with, say, everybody must have a pro, he just went and do the course. He was winning titles before that, you see? So, but like with my other training, there's no topic in there that I don't know about already, right? I've been supervising people from 12. It teaches you how to supervise people. But one of the key things that it also teaches you is the difference between IQ and EQ, right? Intelligent quotient or emotional quotient, right? So it probably tell you say emotional intelligence better than your IQ. So those are things that it teach you how you get the best out of every situation. So if you know to do that by the teachings, then actually if you're in a changing room, you understand what each person wants, what makes them tick. They could all be different, but that type of training teach you how to do that. So that's how it is.
So how do you account for, let us say, in Jamaica, where the standard is to coach a Premier League team, you have to have an A license, that is a bar. But when you look at what the A license provides you with, is really to coach academic players, etc. I don't really equip you to coach national teams.
No. Hold a second. Back up. In Jamaica, we used to use as people who have CR equivalent to a C license to coach our Premier League team. So it's an evolution. We came up to B, now we say you have to be enrolled in an A. And pretty soon by 2030, you have to have a pro.
Yes, I remember.
So it's an evolution going all the way. CONCACAF is looking also at people, coaches in CONCACAF, whether club or country, must have a pro by 2030. We're on our way. We're going to probably have our first pro license coach in Jamaica probably by next year. So on the way.
And you would be in that.
No.
Pro license?
No, we're going to start our own.
Okay.
By next year, yeah.
So the pro license person is one that develops philosophy.
So yeah, I mean, look, a lot of things being said about the licensing. Definitely, just talking about the steps that have been made.
Someone is more
as getting more licensed coaches in Jamaica recently, and where they're trying to get to. I think when he was asked the question about what he felt about the criteria changing for the national coach, as when he was tasked with kind of setting the guidelines for those type of decisions, he put out that yes, we would like to see a pro license as basically the minimum requirement for the coaching position. And he just wanted his thoughts on what he thought about that changing now. And he said, he would not comment on the new technical committee and what decisions they end up making. He just didn't see that as a smart thing to do. So can't really beat him on that, people, because I mean, if he's going to be employed by that same technical committee and evaluated by that committee, I don't think it would make much sense for him to talk down on decisions that they're making. Maybe that's something off the record that he would disclose, but what I have come to find since making these shows that people have to be very careful in this football space about stuff spoken about off the record, because they end up in spaces that you don't think they should get to after those things happen or after those conversations happen. So I don't know if he would ever disclose that, besides to maybe his closest inner circle, and even those circles seem to get breached in Jamaican football. So careful, that might get out there one day what you think about that if you're not careful. All right, sir? Yeah, but just talking a bit about the license. Now, one thing that stood out to me as well when he was talking about the licensor was with his background, I'm assuming as in corporate, and also as the everything in Cavalier, coach, principal owner, all these things. I think that is almost score. Or was that is a penalty? Hold on, people. I watch the game and I talk to him. Oh yeah, elbow come out, penalty. I think the keeper saved that neither. Well, maybe still. Yo, don't get the penalty, whatever you do.
More than that, as I say, is the
that is a part of
environment.
it.
Yeah, but is the environment keep the club on track? Make sure it's a high performance center. The type of environment where you want to create. That's what a person does.
Okay, so that leads me to ask you now, in terms of philosophy, as somebody who's deep into your pro license situation now, and being the head coach of Jamaica. Let us say you get the job as head coach.
Okay.
We would expect you to be developing a philosophy for the Jamaica team. What would that be?
I have one.
You have one?
Yeah, I've been using it from the first day. I'm fine-tuning it. I'm fine-tuning it more and more every time. So, but guess what? You ever hear anybody talk what them philosophy is at any coach?
That's what I was about to ask you. Maybe
coach,
I'm not skillful enough.
Mr. Speed, I have to stop it here. I could have swear say I have watched on YouTube, right? And maybe you'll disagree. You might say that that's not his philosophy he's talking about. But I've seen Pep Guardiola sit down and literally discuss his tactics for over an hour. On a little tactical board. I'll have to find that clip again. I think it's I'll have to find it, but there's a guy that sits down with coaches. I want to say it's called Masterclass. It's not masterclass, it name. Yo, people, I'm gonna find it. But this comment, I remember when I was listening to this for the first time, I was like, yo, that's not true. Like, all right, I'll let him
to see it.
Yeah.
So
you
tell us what it is.
No, I can't. You never hear any coach tell you what their philosophy is. No, you never even see a pep talk about his philosophy. You know what it is. Because you see it, but you never hear him talk about it. But we have one man, I'm fine-tuning it.
Okay. Speed, you have called up a number of new players since your tenure. What are your expectations as we head into the Nations League? And how are these new players going to be integrated into the national setup?
Right. So I just wanted to clarify something. So we have like about 70, 80 players that we monitor, just get scouting reports on them, etc. You know, we look at them through, you know, the various platforms. But I thought that these 3 games would be good for me to see them with my own eyes, close up.
That is
the new players.
That is South Africa.
No. Yeah, the 3 games, the 2 Unity Cup game and the South Africa game was used to look at them with my own eyes, because there's a lot of things you can miss in scouting reports and in just watching them with videos. Decision making, you put them in a small grid and you see if them have a answer for every problem. Those are the type of player you want. So that was the whole reason why we're calling so much new players this time.
Okay, so
see how much of them, because I knew what the ones can do from March, to see how much of them can fit in what we want to do.
Okay, so you would have
bless up JB,
come to some conclusion with regards to what the Nations League squad
will look like. Yes.
Yeah. So you're going to be the coach of the Nations League?
I don't know, but if when a new coach come, or if it's not me, I will say, listen, this is. I'll give them a report, an update on everything that we have.
Okay. How confident are you that you will be getting that job?
I don't know. The board will decide.
So you apply already?
Yes.
You apply?
No.
Robert,
you never apply for that.
At that point, I've never applied for a job.
Applied.
The requirement is that I must apply. So
you apply?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Speed, would you be satisfied / okay to work with another coach if you're not at the helm, say for the Nations League or anything else going forward for this country?
Anything my country asks me to do, I will do. I'm a nationalist.
There's a school of thought that Mr. Speed might undermine any coach that get a job over him.
There's a school of thought that none of these people are talking know anything about me.
All right, let us say you are assigned the national coaching duty. Would you be okay if you are given a backroom staff, or you would?
Hold on, let me answer this from Ayadwan, because it's an important one. Did he ask about the change from Pro to A? Yeah, so he did. And he basically asked Speed what he thought of that change. And he said, well, since he's no longer the one setting policy, he would not want to comment on whatever policy changes have been made. Didn't really push him after that, because my follow-up would have been, do you think that this gives you an advantage in your application? But he didn't really take it to that point. But that would have been my follow-up there. Yeah, he did say that, and the comment and the guy interviewing him did say, BM, I thought he don't apply. And he said, well, if a job comes up where I have to apply as a part of the process, then I will. I'm not opposed to applying. I just never had to before. That's what he said. Agree, one. You have to be able to adjust to whatever the opponent is, whatever your team is. The technical committee, so he's no longer the head of that or on it at all. So it's a new set of people. Well, it's some of the committee that was with him, and I think they added someone else to make up the number, I think. Or maybe they haven't added them yet. It's the same committee from before, just without Speed, and a different leader or a different chairman.
Require selecting your backroom staff?
That's not even a question, because everybody else, all the other coaches, was given the green light to pick their own people.
Okay.
And it's the same thing I'm saying. People are always asking Rudolph to do something else
different
that nobody else does. And that's where the problem starts.
All right. So I guess that's true in a sense. But we know that Marion Garden was not selected by the coaches coming in. It was always kind of said to us that the coaches agreed to Marion Garden being there. But I don't know if that offer was so, you understand? I don't know. I don't know if that offer was like, hey, we have this guy that would love to get some exposure. You know, could you keep him on the staff to kind of, you know, bridge that gap between the local coaches and the international staff? If it's kind of sold to him like that and it's a developmental thing, I don't think any coach coming in would seriously be opposed to that. What I do know is that McLaren on numerous occasions wanted certain assistants and they were pried away mainly because of financial reasons, right? Because they probably couldn't sign any long-term contract with the JFF. They probably were getting paid whenever they had windows or anything like that. And if you get in a more stable situation come up, it's going to be difficult to keep those kind of people. So I think that's a part of the way we kind of go about getting the coach. I think we have to realize in the modern game that coach is going to come with at least 3 to 5 coaches as well if he's going to have his complete setup. So the budget that we set for these coaches needs to include that as well. And if we don't have it, then we don't have it. But we need to not lie to ourselves and say, yeah, we can just pay for a top coach and then expect him to just not have suitable assistants to help him. You know, I don't think that's really a smart move because that's going to be a disgruntled coach that you have to pay. And he's, you know, over time when you're disgruntled, your performance goes. And I think we saw that play out with Hallgrimsson for sure. May not have been the coaching reasons why he was disgruntled, but for whatever reason he was disgruntled, right? So yeah, I just feel like, oh, what a ball by Eze. Oh my gosh, Rogers, you know better than Madueke. What a ball by Eze. Marion was there for Tapper, Paul Hall, Hallgrimsson, and McLaren. So Speed is kind of not telling the full truth there in terms of, you know, we're asking him and no one else to do certain things. Well, Marion Garden was asked to be on these people's
And
staff.
because I insist that no, I'm not doing that, people just have a problem with me.
Wow. We have another caller, Dwight. Caller, good evening.
Good night.
Greetings.
This man never.
Artisanal and grilled cheese.
Yeah, I don't think I want to play out this whole interview, but there are some parts I did want to play. I think I got to most of them. I think there's one other one that I want to make sure play. I might have to find it.
The issue with finishing has long been a problem, Mr. Speed. We see Kyle Dixon, Bailey Kadamatore. I know we could mention some other forwards up front there. How can we correct or help on the improvement of the finishing for our players, Mr. Speed?
Right. So I was just saying to you that the basic football, too big, broad, basic is in possession and out of possession, right? So the truth is most of the time that I've been working, I'm working with out of possession because I want to build a team that is so difficult to score and it gives us a platform to launch attacks. When you have to be just defending all the time, it don't give you a lot of time to work out how you attack teams.
No.
But and the different methods that you can use. So we have a plan that we're working on, and don't watch a video of South Africa. They just show you the parts that make them look good because they even wanted to.
But to me in football, a simple pass can still be great because, I mean, these spaces have probably been there all game, but you have to see the pass and execute the pass. I've never slipped soccer through that time. You have to still play the pass, you know, and at the right time when he's in that gap, that's perfect, you know. Like there's still, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm overdoing it, but because I've been watching this game for a good while and I haven't seen maybe more than one pass like that, I have to say it was a good pass.
So they win the game when that wasn't the case. So we did attack them much more. Even this goal that we scored, it was a corner that came back, you know. So they didn't even show you that attack.
It was a long
got the corner.
The highlights.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
So don't watch it. They had possession more than us, it's true. But we gave them as good as they give to us in terms of, you know, attacking their goal. So we do have some attacking principles that we're working on. But I tell you, like, there's something about Jamaican players in the box. If they get the ball in the box, they just need to keep the composure. You see what Busy did, you see what Dixon did. There's something more. We're encouraging those type of things in the box. Yeah.
So you're giving them that latitude?
Yeah. The field is cut up into 20 cuts. You know, if you look across at the marking, there's 20. And I was even talking to Dixon. I said, Dixon, you know, say 15 of them are mine. The next 5 are yours. So that type of leeway for us to use our natural innate skills, but we're good at scrimmage. Yeah.
Have you had one-on-one discussions with the players when they join camp?
All the players that knew, I would have discussion with them, all the new players. And if I see individuals that need me to have one-on-one, yes, I do have one-on-one with them.
Trevante Stewart has been out there in the cold for so long, and he was called for this game against South Africa. What happened? I understand him never turned up.
I don't know. We had a training session the day when we were leaving. He didn't come to the session.
He was in Jamaica?
Yeah, my understanding is he's in Jamaica. And then he WhatsApped him to tell the manager that he can't make it, he's sick. So we just went without him. We didn't even bother to replace him at that time.
Whoa.
Recently, Mr. Speed, of the probably about 7 or 8 new players who got a look into the squad recently. What's your impression of them?
Well, it's more than that we looked at. There was even some players in the camp in England that didn't get to play because they didn't have any passport. And they're looking after those. But we have seen players there too that came and trained us that can help us in the future. So I think we're in the region about 5-6 players who we see. All of them didn't play, but I think they can help us in the future.
So you would consider them going forward?
Definitely.
Your tenure as interim coach up to now, we'd say it's over. Let us say it is not over. What would you consider to be a successful stint as interim coach?
So, I mean, we're right now, we're in like the Nations League. So the problem...
Forgive me, IRFM, I wanted to say it's Robert. Don't know his last name though. I know it's Robert, but I don't know his last name. Let me see. Don't put his name on here, Jaja. I know it's Fraser is the other one. But I think they're IRFM.
That we're having,
I believe.
Do we want to try and win the Nation League or the Gold Cup next year, or want to qualify for the World Cup in a full?
Yeah.
That's really the key.
So
I don't know if Jamaicans are patient enough to want to go to say because go to the world. They're going to say they want to win Nation League and want to win Gold Cup. So you have to balance yourself now between development and for the World Cup and trying to win this. So what you face is that you'll probably be giving players hours now that you probably should have given to younger players, so there'll be more prime when the World Cup qualifier come around. So that is the biggest issue that we face.
Well, look, I mean, that's not a lie. You have to find that balance, because you have to find somewhere to get these new players into the mix so that when it's their time to be the ones carrying the torch, they're ready. But you also need to get results and stay where you need to stay in the rankings and all these things for
issue. Any coach.
It's a balance you have to find
at this particular time.
You have been a coach who has always gone for young players, to the point where probably the team that played against South Africa is such a young team.
Youngest.
And I heard you mention the youngest team at the Unity Cup.
The youngest.
How important is the pathway from youth national player to senior Reggae Boyz?
it's very important. And a lot of it, so now you have what you call transitional coaches that actually take you from a youth player to a senior player, national player, or a youth club player to a senior club player. It is a skill, and there's specialist coaches now that can actually do it. But just to go back to your question first, the truth is, Cavalier run like a business, and we have a philosophy and we have policies that facilitate what we do there. National team is a little bit different because, as I said before, you have to juggle about getting immediate results because you want to keep your ranking, you want to be able to earn money as you go along, because it's the only team that actually earn money, and balance all of that with your development processes. So yeah, it's complex. It's a lot more complex at that level.
I did a little digging today.
But a follow-up to that though, Robert, is the fact that Bailey Kadamatre, younger brother, was in that squad recently, Unity Cup squad.
Yes.
Listen to this.
Right. So along that age group, so the door will open on the road of speed then for Manning and Da Costa Cup players who are on the fringe or on the cusp, those 20 going into the 20-year-old bracket, to get into a national team under your guidance?
No. National team is for professional players, not amateurs. No way. If you are in the school and you're playing professionally, then. But if you're not playing professionally, I'll never, ever, ever pick you. Never, ever. No.
Despite the talent that you show?
Look here, talent is only 10% of success. And you know the old saying, young people never win anything.
So no matter what a man want to do in a D Cup and Manning Cup,
in your
national team.
Never, ever. You have to play national. You have to play professional.
Match when him say that.
It's for luck if you get through early, before your time.
Yeah, because some people going to have an issue with that, to say that you can't have one of the best youth players.
Why don't say you?
For a Manning or a Da Costa Cup team, and he can't get a look at the national team.
What about the under 20? You can play under 20. And then we look at him after that.
Okay.
There's a team for him, you know.
That's an important observation. We have a caller. Caller, good evening.
Greetings.
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 Good night, Mr. Speed.
Good night, sir.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
Yeah?
Yeah, man, go ahead.
All right. You know, Mr. Speed is very ardent about his coaching and coaching certification. He always speak about that. Now, when you were the head of the technical committee,
exactly,
you said you needed a pro license. Now that you are not, we see like they regress on that and go backward.
Oh, you start listening to the program late. Mr. Speed did answer the question. I didn't respond to it.
No, the answer.
The answer that
I asked him this.
Yeah.
If he agrees with the new person that's taking over his position, going back on the certification.
Danny,
that's my question.
Answer already, you know. So I am not in charge of policies right now. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
So just ask if you are
but me can't, look here. Me have professional integrity too, you know. Me can't go talk, but me don't discuss a man would have my post before. I don't know if other people do it, what they do. I'll never ever discuss it, whether they're right or wrong. So that's my answer to you.
So people.
All right. So we can guys, if you agree on that then. All right.
But you know, listen to me.
Probably after here, me can ask you the question.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm saying half the year maybe. So I same thing, people. More I know how you feel about this lowering the criteria for the national coach, knowing especially that you yourself don't have what the criteria was before, but you have what they have changed it to. I mean, it just looks away. You know what I mean? Is it coincidence? I don't believe anything in the football is ever coincidence. So, yeah, that was most of what was an interview done on YouTube a couple nights ago with Robert Williams and Fraser from IRFM. So that was some of that and a little reaction to it. I see you guys have a lot of thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for giving your thoughts there. But we want to keep the show going. That's the kind of the Reggae Boyz segment. Little bit of what Rudolph Speed had to say in that, and also just a little bit of my thoughts on the whole score controversy. Now let's move into the Jamaica Reggae Girlz conversation. And the Reggae Girlz had 2 matches over in Panama. They took place on the 5th and the 8th, and they won the first one 1-0. We had a live watch along to that, so big up to those who tuned in that night. And then on Monday night, they had the second friendly, which ended 0-0. Yeah, so that ended 0-0. So let me go to JFF football. And the reason I want to do that is I wanted to show you guys and remind you guys of the starting 11s for those 2 matches over in Panama. All right, so the first match day, this is what the lineup would have looked like. Hubert Busby put out this team for the first match. This was on the 5th, and this is how the lineup looked. So it was Leah Brooks, Tiana Harris, Alison Swaby, Kanya Plummer, Jade Bailey, Atlanta Primus, Denisha Blackwood, Jody Brown, Kayla McKenna, Shania Hales, and Cameron Simmons. So this pretty much was a 3-4-3 setup or a 3-4-2-1. Harris, Swaby, and Plummer. Swaby was in the middle of the 3. Harris was on the left at the times, then switched to the right. I think the coach kept trying to figure out which one she would be better at. She had one of the worst games I've seen. I don't know what happened to Tiana in this game, but it wasn't pretty how she was playing. And Swaby seemed to catch the disease and never really got rid of it over either game. I mean, she was very, very sloppy on the ball. I thought Plummer of the defenders that play center back was probably the best. And even she had her moments on the ball where it was a bit careless. But I do see a lot of improvement in her game from what I remember of her in the first cycle. She kind of wasn't around for the second cycle due to, childbirth and, growing her family. She's back this go around, and I must say, like, her playing overseas in some of these leagues. I know she won the league over in Turkey this year. Yeah, she definitely has improved, I think. Definitely has improved. I think she's at Fenerbahce this year. And I just think she looks a lot better on the ball. Still from time to time has some mad moments, but I think when you look at the performance of the 2 players playing with her and how much poorer she was than them, I think you have to call a spade and say she was the best out of them. Jade Bailey back in the lineup again. I still think that Jade hasn't yet to recover or regain the form that would have saw her come into the team back when Lord Donaldson was the manager. I have yet to see it over an extended game time. And this window was no different. I don't think she really solidified herself. I think you're still gonna get the calls of where is Izzy Groves? Where is she? I don't see her. They're really trying to get Izzy a goal. Then played a bit higher up, still on that left-hand side, but playing more as like a wing back. So a lot more attacking and higher starting positions for the most part. Rashford going to twist up the brother here. Is there a shoot again? Kobe try to shoot. Everybody about shot. All right. Then you had Cameron Simmons at the right side, and I don't know, man. I haven't really seen her stamping her authority in these games ever since she's gone to the pro ranks. At Utah, she started out looking like she was going to be a starter. Those starts have dried up a bit, and I think maybe her confidence is gone a bit. Just doesn't look the same player that we saw, leading into like the last World Cup, for example. Playing as a more attacking player, looked definitely like one that would be around for a long time. I think she's kind of having some growing pains, changing positions, if you ask me. I don't know if that's the truth, but that's just what I see from the outside. But yeah, hopefully she can get back that confidence as I know she should have in her because she's a national champion at the collegiate level. She's playing professionally in one of the top leagues in the world, so she should not be feeling like she's not good enough. Hopefully that's not what she's going through, but something's going on with Cameron and her confidence, it looks like, on the pitch. Jody Brown, not the greatest of two games for her, it must be said. Missed a chance in the second game that she wants back, I'm sure. And in the first game, just not enough, not influential enough, not creating enough in the football match, especially in the position that she's playing, that attacking role just off the left. And then Shania Hills, glimpses, some good stuff, definitely. Have to give her credit for scoring the goal in this window. The one goal we scored from that set piece. England tie with them now. And Kayla McKenna started up front. Didn't really influence the game enough in an attacking sense. Got hit really hard in the second half as well. Well, at the end of the first half, and came off at halftime. But yeah, she definitely, looking at, when Bunny's not around, who's the next one to step up at striker. Kayla McKenna definitely the favorite because probably of longevity, but I think this window it might have solidified Natasha as option B if Bunny Shaw is not available, at least in my eyes. I don't know if people agree with that, but was very, very shocked that Natasha didn't start this game when he saw the lineup. And I think if it wasn't for that hit that McKenna took at the end of the first half, maybe we wouldn't have seen Natasha so early in the first game. Finally did start her in the second, as I'm about to show with the starting lineup in the second game. But first game, we ended up winning 1-0. As you can see there, 1-0. Shania scoring. And then the second game ended up being 0-0. But this was the starting 11 in this one. So Ingleton, who came on at halftime for Harris, kept her position, but he did switch the formation in the second game. It was more of a 4-3-3 with Ingleton at right back, Tanya Plummer, Swaby, and Blackwood on the back four and the back line. Then we had Nicaila Small, who came in the first game and looked really solid for Jade Bailey. She came on into the pivot with Primus, and then it was really like a 4-2-3-1, to be honest. Small and Primus more as the double pivots, and then you had Paige Bailey Gale on one side, Carter on another side, and then Shania Hales. And it was kind of rotational because Paige would be inside sometimes outside. Her and Trudy would kind of switch around, and that three kind of switch places from time to time. And then Natasha Thomas led the line in this system. And it just never really clicked all the way, if we're being totally honest. I think there were individual players that played well. I thought Small was good. I thought Primus looked a little leggy in the second game from the start. I think Allison, had probably had a window that she personally would want to forget some of the performances and just move on from them and just file those away as, that's behind me. I think Ingleton, definitely as a player that maybe people aren't that familiar with right now. She's still playing collegiately at the collegiate level for West Virginia, but at the same time, you can see that she's developing well. Confident on the ball, doesn't, even when she gets the ball under pressure, she doesn't seem to panic so much. Still kind of has a clear thought, and really does things with conviction, which I like. So Ingleton, definitely, she keeps progressing in the way she is. I think she's a definite option as a right back for sure. then playing at left back, not the position I love from her, but I don't know, man. It's looking like if we can't find any more left backs, there's gonna have to be some situations where she does play there. And she did play fairly decent in the second game. Still, I think offers us a lot more if she's playing attacking down the wing, getting those crosses in the box. But as a left back, I think the main thing is just making sure that she can, just control her position in a bit better at times. I think sometimes she just depends so much on her athleticism and she might be out of position too much. That's my one thing when she plays defense that bugs me. And sometimes as well on the ball, she's a little bit careless too. And you can be careless up in the opponent's third or the attacking third. It's when you lose it in that defensive third that makes you worry. Now, Small, don't let the stature fool you. I think that she's a very energetic player, very shifty as well, can dip the shoulder and turn either side. Just really, really solid in that midfield. Everything she does is done with a different technicality and a different level of, it doesn't take her very long to control move, like it's nice, it's ticking. So I think, Small and Drew Spence could be, probably the nicest ball playing midfield I would have ever seen Jamaica have. So hopefully Drew is around. And usually Drew shows up when it's like a game that is big, and that's something that I think Busby had touched on in his pre-match. He was talking about the importance of the continuity and saying how many players were missing and wishing that they could all be there. And I have to agree with him on that because, after this window, it's November, it's Costa Rica, it's all the marbles type of game. There won't be many more opportunities to get together and really try to get where you need to get in terms of preparation. I think there's one window in October. Hopefully, the girls will see the importance of that window. And when I say the girls, I mean the entire squad, so that we're not having to, say, well, we don't have this player that we might start in the game against Costa Rica there. I would hope that they realize that those are the last two dress rehearsals before that huge game in November, right? So, I implore the girls, somebody get this footage to them. Please, girls, if you're healthy, just make it important to you to play those games in October. I should have maybe made this plea before even this set of games, but maybe you're thinking, it's the early part of summer, you want to have that break and this and that. I'm not going to kill whoever didn't come to this window, right? But in October, people, you guys got to make yourselves available. It's very, very important. You have to play these games together, get on the same page. I hear all of you say it when you have your post matches. I know it's the generic thing to say, but you have to get on the same page. And the best way to do that is to be around each other, right? So in October, girls, Busby, everybody, don't let nobody tell you nothing. Tell them, say, we need the players for this window, all right? Please. But this was starting lineup. Paige Bailey-Gale came in, Trudy came in for Jody, Shania kept her place, Natasha came in for Kayla, Small came in for Jade, and Ingleton came in for Tiana Harris. So he did make a few changes. Thomas got the start, which was good to see because I think she had fully deserved it. Soleil Washington didn't appear at all in this window, and I was kind of surprised to see her there just because it was clear that she did look like she was walking with a bit of a limp. But it's great that she wanted to be around the group just the same. So she was there and she was named on the bench both games, but I thought, just based on the clips I had seen and the little footage, that she probably wouldn't play. McNamara, who came back in the squad, didn't play game one, but did come on at halftime in game two to get some good, valuable minutes. Primus, who I was telling you, looked really leggy in the second game, I thought, came off right at halftime. And McNamara, I thought, was, a bit off on the periphery for most of the game. Didn't really impose herself. It really, when you see the juxtaposition of Small in there and somebody like McNamara, you just see the difference and the level of the players, I don't think McNamara was poor, but she just didn't stand out to me in her time. Jody Brown, as I said, came on for Trudy, who I thought wasn't in the first half either. So that's a few games in a row now. She had that one good performance in the first game, the last window, where they played in Jamaica twice. Then the second game, she played poorly. I thought I can't remember if she came on in the first game or not, but the second game in the first half, I don't think she did very well either. And then Jody Brown, definitely a shell of what we remember her being at this current moment. It's kind of crazy to see how it's gone just the wrong direction for Jody Brown. Don't make no sense. I don't remember. I'm trying to remember Brooks. Yeah, Leah Brooks. Shot stopping wise, good job. Handling crosses, good job. But with the ball at her feet, oh my lord. She just needs a lot more development. Let's just say that. I would die on the hill. They shouldn't have advertised the position. This is so very unnecessary to draw us into this. Yo, Orion Davis has reached people. So beer, cuss it now. The game on Monday was very poor. Hopefully Bonnie and Drew are available come November. We fail to qualify. Wonder what the coach will do when those 7 or 8 players come back into the squad. Yeah, Mr. Dre, that's the thing. Like, I need them to have that October window because they're gonna need to figure out what they're gonna do with the damn team. Like, I don't think it's possible to have another window where 5 of 6 or 6 of your regulars not available, or not even not available, just don't come, because I think they were available in terms of like injury, but I think they just decided that they wanted to get some extra time this window. I was really surprised with the Becky one because I mean she don't really play that much football at her club, so if she really want to move forward and get to another World Cup, I would think she want to take all the opportunities to play. But what do I know, I don't think Busby can take the girls to the next level, to the World Cup. Yeah, that's what a lot of people think, and I would actually agree. Some people saying, boy, he's getting results, why cussing? But you can see from how the team playing. I mean, they said them get better at fighting. The hell we're going with Jade Bailey, Blackwood, and Plummer. I don't want to be this guy, but hasn't everyone regressed? I think besides Bonnie Shaw, you'd have to point to the Van Zanten sisters as not regressing, who neither one of them are there this time. So I guess for this window, look, Thomas for her club has regressed, but she don't look like any different of a player for Jamaica when I see her play. I don't think Denden has regressed from one time. I think she's better. I think Kanya Plummer is better now than she used to be. So I don't think every single one has regressed, but way too many have than progressed. Simmons is not as fast as she thinks she is. She tries to do too much. Yeah, I think Simmons needs to add some variation to it because it's a kick and run type of mentality. Like, you have to incorporate some kind of footballing move, drip your shoulder, step over, change pace, something. It's just so, all right, I'm dribbling, go. Like, no, like, misdirection, change direction, go inside sometime. I just don't think there's enough variation. It's very robotic sometimes. It's okay to put everyone in the mix when players that you like not improving. Brooks was horrible both games, says JB. Yeah, I mean, in certain aspects, she was definitely terrible. Kind of similar to what Boys Club mistakes were, with the feet. We need to take ball as seriously as we do track and entertainment, and we'll beat Brazil. Natasha and Nicola Small, the only bright sparks. Yeah, if you say that, I thought Ingleton did well too. Yeah, I had Ingleton in it. Small was like a Bunny in the midfield. A few errant passes, but for the most part, it was a good showing. You know what I like about Small? She played deeper in the midfield, but her first instinct is to break a line. I love that. And most of her mistakes were attempting to break the line, which I'll take. It's when the sideways and back pass are mistakes. That's the problem. Trudy and Jody should never put on back a Jamaica jersey. Small Ingleton to get promoted ASAP to A team. Yes, agreed. Jody has slowly played her way out of the starting 11. Yeah, it's been a gradual thing because they've given her chances, to be honest. We need to go get a left back. Then doesn't service us anywhere but in attack. I agree, we need to get a left back as well. Many Jamaican fans doesn't get that. Them favorite players doesn't understand putting themselves in position to receive the ball and awareness of their opponent that leads them to struggle. Very, very true. That is something. Spatial awareness. The biggest difficulty for Jamaican players to me. Peyton looked well also. I thought she didn't do enough for me. That didn't look like she's, didn't want to get on the ball enough for me. Get on the ball. What about the CAC games? Good question, What the hell is going on with the CAC games with football? I could have swear said the group them did pick I don't even know what kind of team you're gonna take to this. If you check about the CAC games for real though. Yeah, so a couple players stepped up. I thought Harris did poorly, not a good look. I was thinking we found another decent piece for the centre back pool, and I'm having to reconsider my thoughts, to be honest. I was really excited about her. Even talked her up, had a big show before our window, telling you what I saw, because I did watch whole games of her in Portugal. And it's just not, I don't know what happened. This was just such a bad showing, and the confidence is gone through the floor, so I don't know. Okay, so a few people say McNamara. So to be fair, that second half I was less in tune because it was right around the time when the next game was getting real hot, and I haven't gone back to watch the second half. So Peyton, I'm going to be fair. I'm going to put my serious eyes on and watch about the second half of that game, because there's enough people where I respect them opinion saying it. I have to watch it and make sure I'm not overlooking you. I got to blame in the coach is the easy option for some, but do you think that then misses penalty and then the shot she kicked and the keeper and the other coach would change that? Yeah. Primo spend small, McNamara Bailey will be the midfield contingent. For me, Izzy over Bailey. I don't know, man. Bailey's a little more cerebral and maybe a little more technical too, but not by much. I think Izzy will just give you more athleticism. We need that. Could some answer? Yes, the CAC games, they're gonna take place. All right, boom, Santo Domingo. Let's see it in English. The games, sports. Where is it? Football. Technical manual. So it in Spanish. Mumo. So them not have the they don't have, all they have is the technical manual. Them don't have like the schedule yet. Guess not. You want your accreditation. Official calendar. So football. Female football. July the 29th, 31st, August 2 and 4. I think the final is on the 6th. Final on the 6th of August. So yeah. But them now all them have is the schedule though. Them don't have like not the schedule, but them just have like when, what time slot the thing them gonna happen. Them don't have the actual official things yet. It'll come up soon. Easy gone Vietnam. It's awful all the way around. Why you on Becky case? Because bro, you need to play. I had one. Sure. Blackwood and Plummer are worst players. What the hell are you talking about? I don't think they're the worst players. Orion Davis, nobody no good to you. It's me surprised. I think anybody did good to her at it. Thomas out of club now. She wasn't being started, but Thomas was doing well whenever she was subbed in. So I think the club like Busby was regressing Thomas. Don't it? Because she don't look bad, brother. She look like she have another gear for go in her career. A coach will select the players that will bring out the game plan and the pitch to best, which means the players at some height the most are not at the level. Then it's better. Plummer is better. The save systems have improved. I would say Chantel has improved. I think Allison kind of stagnate, to be honest. I don't think she improved. I said Jody need to worry about the game and not the people them she play against. Hey man, she love war still, you know. Random players. Yeah, Shania could have taken the penalty. Natasha could have taken the penalty. Nikela Small could have taken the penalty. Primus could have taken the penalty. Any of them there? Strikers not performing. Yeah, the CAC game is going to be a different squad, man. Going to be some other people. Probably my girl name Nigeri Butts and probably same Aliyah Morgan who came to this as a backup. Maybe London Phoenix. What? No, I haven't heard anything like that, bro. Tyrese Hall in jail on a murder charge. What the hell? That's a crazy thing to just say. I mean, there's a person in New York, but that's not I mean, yeah, his name is Tyrese Hall, but it's a different Tyrese Hall. This is something in New York. Yo. Yo, Tyrese Hall, if you see this video, I want to categorically state that there's a person in the States with your name that's in some trouble. All right. But we know it's not you. Big up yourself. Decision making. Yeah, the dates are in July. It's like starting like July the 26th. It's around the same time as the men's U20. We say one bad stint, all right. But I don't know, man. She have to prove me wrong. No, because I put my neck on the line for her and she been poor. That's terrible, man. You shouldn't have these things happening, though. Beating up the Spurs, man, them. I mean, come on. Colombia, Puerto Rico, and Mexico. Respect. Yeah, man, it's two groups. It's two groups in it. Too much mistakes. Bailey's passes are cleaner. Gallus department. Yeah, I seen that brand too. Becky all like Earth's crossing football years cut her some slack. She needs the rest. Yeah, I should have get pops on. All right, if I'm gonna try get pops for tomorrow. Cause I have part few, so I can catch me up on the first 6 groups, and then maybe he can come on with me for the other things, you know, or maybe we just get him on for a segment. But just give me fee one, you know. Yeah, man, I love to get pops take. I think right now, the whole madness surrounding the World Cup kind of Brooklyn Pops vibes, I think. I spoke yesterday and I say, yo, him not feel it. We usually I'll drop some limericks about the first set of games and the teams that we are bringing, and it does not even like him can't even do it. But I think more than likely, I'm probably gonna do it. I'm gonna do one today. If I don't, I bet you any money if I check right now, I'm probably drop one at some point today. Cause so him stay. I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm not vibes, and then some inspiration will reach him and him the right one. So I think everybody I wait for him to kick it off, because I'm the master ceremonies and them things. So I wait for him to kick it off so we can fire off or shot them too. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get him on. Definitely will come on at some point during the World Cup, but a really busy time for him because you know the Women's League and the CPL, you know, all the preparation them I get ramp up, you know. So you have constant team meetings and everything are going on right now. So him just not really have that much time during the day. But this should be interesting moving forward with Hubert Busby, because I just feel like I don't know, man. I want to say that the girls are bought in fully, but I don't get that sense all the way. I don't know if they think that they're almost. I almost get the sense that they feel like we're gonna do this despite in spite of having this coach. I just don't feel like all the big stars in the team, or not even big stars, but the senior players in the team are fully on board with what the coach is up to. I just get that sense. And this is just a hunch. I don't know anybody telling me this. This is just from observation, right? And I think also, you know, the Becky, the Bonnie, the Drew, that kind of that triumvirate right there. I think those are very powerful players within this structure of this team. And I think it's very noticeable that typically when the head of that is not around, chances are the other two are not far behind and not coming in. It might be coincidence, but I'm just saying, you know, I hope that in October, right? I hope that in October there is there is space and you guys are fit enough and in the mental state to come and represent, because I think it's going to be crucial that we get those games in with you guys all in the fold. But moving forward, I think it's going to be really up to Busby to, you know, convince not only me, but I think his own team that he is the right man to get them over the line in November. But there isn't much time to do that convincing. There's just that one window in October. And of course, you know, if he's doing the right things the right way, he'll be at least talking to his senior players throughout, you know, leading up to that October window, because I think he's going to have to definitely try to sell to them the importance of this October window. I can't stress it enough. You know, it's going to be right at the start of the season, kind of, over there in Europe. But, you know, they have to understand that, you know, that last preparation before that window at the end of November is crucial for them to get together and get some games. The JFF, I know that, you know, there's a lot of teams out there. We were able to get these games with Panama. It wasn't the easiest to get done, but hopefully you're not waiting until the last minute for those games in October. I think it's paramount. We'll get the team together and play some decent enough opposition. You know, Canada would be a good shout. Let's see who's another team we could maybe play in CONCACAF. I would maybe go back and play Mexico again, right? Who destroyed us in the last 2 times we played them. Let's see where we stack up against them now, if they're willing to give us a game. So I would love to get 2 games in that window. It's October 5th to the 13th, I believe it is. So yeah, 1 game towards the start of that window, 1 game towards the end. Decent enough time in between, preferably in one location, so there's not too much travel for the team, right? Those are the things I think we need to be looking at. And Busby, work on these players, make sure that they're buying in, because I don't see a total buy-in with the team right now. I'm not seeing it. Not sure if you've noticed this, but for the male side, the local born love jump to take pens and free kick, which they're not even the 3rd choice for their club, which I don't agree with. Pack up Jamaica football, Riverton dump. Yeah, man, Orange, man. Don't forget up tonight. Don't even show up. Champions League. Yeah, so look, left with some more questions and not all the answers after this window in Panama. Even Busby himself said he realizes now that, there's still a lot of work to be done. I think the problem is, do you have the time to get the work you need done? We're really behind the 8 ball at this point. We really need to make sure that we make all the right moves leading up to that October window and then into the November, December window where we learn our fate if we make it to the World Cup for a third successive time or not. Of course, on this channel, we'll be tracking all the way till then. But that's pretty much it for my take on the 2 games in Panama. A lot to be desired as far as I'm concerned. And, there's definitely needs to be some adjustments made moving forward if I'm going to feel confident about us getting to the next World Cup. All right. That is it for that. Now, the last thing I want to touch on in the last part of the show is our U20 team. So our U20 team did go to Florida to take part in 2 friendly matches, and didn't even realize, but they were at 2 different grounds. One was at the complex where they usually play the Casa games when the Manning Cup and the Costa Cup invitational team, I guess you'll call it, goes over to play games. So this was that rain was mad. Enough commercials on the stream. It shouldn't be. I have it on the same setting it's always, and I think it's kind of like balanced or something. So I don't know why it would be so many, to be honest. Did you watch USA versus Brazil? That's how invested the girls should be. Just half of that fight, bro. That intensity in them 2 games there was different. Like when you watch Panama, Jamaica, and you watch that, you realize that it's like different games them playing. Maybe push them too hard in training. Maybe, who knows? All right, so let me show you guys what I wanted to talk about with the U20. I'm gonna do another show at some point that really talks more about the players, but this is just more so about how this thing was marketed to us, to people. So this is on JFF Youth Football's page, and this was the flyer for the first day of events for the Jamaica U20 team. It was at the city of Lauderhill, or actually they put it on. It's called the World Cup Kickoff. So it was the Casa Finals. It was at the Lauderhill Sports Complex, which if you do know that team that goes over to play every year, that's where they play. Now the feature game was the last game of the day. And it was the Jamaica national U20 team versus a Haiti U20 team. So one thing there that I noticed right away was that it says Haiti U20 team, but it doesn't have the word national. So that's a little different from Jamaica national. But typically when you're talking about other nations, it's the national team when you talk about Jamaica. So that could be by default or by design, I should say, or that could be just, usually you're going to say Jamaica national and you're not going to say Haiti national. I don't know, right? But that, if you see that, right, I would think that you would think that the game is going to be Jamaica U20 versus Haiti U20, right? That's what I would think. Now, the flyer for the second day had feature game Jamaica U20 versus Miami United, and they had Miami United Football Club here. Now, I just find it almost incredible, right? And I know that the JFF wouldn't have put on this event. This was, the Vice Mayor Richard Campbell and his office, the city of Lauderhill, and all. They had these sponsors, Tamarack, all these sponsors basically put this together, a showcase to have the Jamaica U team come play, right? And the interesting thing in all of this is, they have the Haiti Federation here on this, right? So again, the first day, this is on the flyer, Jamaica U20, Haiti U20. And on the second flyer, which shows you all the sponsors and all the participating entities, you see Miami United Football Club, which we found out on Sunday wasn't the actual club that they played. It was Miami Football Academy, which is something else, right? Then you have Jamaica Football Federation, you have the Haitian Federation, and you have the USA flag, right? So this would lead me to believe that these entities are going to participate. Miami United, Jamaica, and Haiti, the federation in some capacity, so the national team, right? Now, the first game on Saturday, I think it was Saturday, right? Because they played Saturday, Sunday. The first game, bro. So the first game ended 9-0, right? And Youth Football said feature game, statement result. Jamaica U29, Haiti U20 0. A memorable night at the Casa Finals and City of Lauderhill World Cup kickoff. Jamaica U20. So people are responding. Issa Allen, friend of the show, says, Simon, this is not Haiti national team. Why mislead the public? Gringo laughing, nothing funny, but not the Haiti national U20 team. But we took advantage of that. The system, why they get so much goals? What? Okay, so I think they're saying that is Austin why them score so much. This U20 team is in fact remove the Reggae Boyz minus Andre Blake and let them play. So this is kind of what I wanted to get at, right? So this thing has been marketed as a game with Jamaica versus the Haiti U20. And I can tell it from watching the game because, me as a man watch all of them CONCACAF competition, right? One, because I just love ball, and two, because I'm going to be talking about these things on my channel. So I want to make sure that I have, somewhat of a knowledge of what's going on. Now, based on this game and based on my knowledge of the Haitian players from that qualifiers that I watched, I didn't see any players, and I mean not even one, that is even remotely resembling the players that I saw play in that game, in those games then. This is not the right game. Like none of them people, like literally none of them, right? None of them. And people running me down and saying, but it's a Haiti U20 on the screen. And I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. I guess if you want to believe what you want to believe, that's fine. And my beef is not necessarily with anybody, but the organizers of the competition for false advertising. And secondly, to the JFF for keeping up the charade after the fact. Because I know people have reached out to them asking, like, what's the deal? Was this the real team? And it's basically being reported back that, yes, this is just a team that, due to visa problems, they had to put together a team, but these are indeed Haitian national players that were playing. And I'm just saying, yo, I mean, come on, let's be totally honest here. We've seen the levels of the Haitian national team before. And this team don't look nothing like those levels. I mean, not even close. It looks like a joke. So, I just feel like the JFF should have really just come out and kind of let the public know what the situation was. But they haven't really thought that's important. And I think that just goes to a deeper issue that I have a lot of times with the federation, that, it's like they attain this transparency, or they try to attain this type of transparency in their, programming, their marketing. They're trying to do some stuff like that. But then there's these little things that happen that I kind of have to wonder, like, why? Why is it so imperative that you don't just say, hey, you know, we were misled by the organizers. Even if you want to throw them, and you probably don't want to throw them under the bus, because from my understanding, the organizers got you to the place and put you up in the hotel and did all of this stuff. So can you really talk bad about them? No, but it's just really sad that this narrative is out there. And now what this really does, you know, people, that messes up everything, you know, is like we have this expectation now when they go play this competition. Remember, we just saw them beating teams 12-0 and 11-0 and all these nils, you know. And then first time we buck Haiti at the U20 now, going into the preparations for this next tournament, we dropped 9-0. And without, you know, me personally having the knowledge to know that it's not the real Haiti, I am thankful for that, because if I didn't have that knowledge and I am just following the socials, as I'm sure many fans are, I may have missed this game and didn't watch it. They're seeing that we won 9-0 and they're quick to comment and say, yes, this team is going to take over the world. Look, I hope that's the case. I want us to take over the world, but I also want us to be realistic with ourselves and know that this 9-0 over Haiti is not an indication of what to see when we get into this tournament coming up, because this was not the Haiti team. So beatings have to go out to the people them from Casa first and foremost. The Haitian Federation should sue Uno, because me not understand how Uno can put out information about a tournament that's coming up and literally put on the flyer that you have the Haitian Federation on it and you have Haiti U20 mark on it. And when you're broadcasting it, you have Jamaica U20, Haiti U20 on the actual screen, right? So to me, these people at Casa definitely messed up with this marketing, because in no way, shape, or form would I be comfortable as a Haitian fan or the federation knowing that games are being played around the world using my federation name, my country name, and I don't have nothing to do with it. The first dead giveaway, people, when the team I walk out, you know, you see Jamaica and them nice sweatsuit and the jersey, them and this and that. Man, them literally come out in some red and blue jersey where it look like them buy straight out of Walmart before the game start. No kind of federation emblem or crest, nothing like that. Just blue and red, the right colors at least. But it was not the Haitian team, people. I'm telling you, not even one of them. And don't let nobody tell you anything else. Regardless of whether the Haitians were supposed to be there and had issues or not, I can't speak to that. But them never get them player from out of no camp at all. And I wouldn't be surprised if all of them live right there in Lauderhill somewhere. You know what I mean? All right, let me so yeah, them deserve to get a beating. Them deserve to get a beating, yo. Them deserve a big beating. Let me see, JFF. I don't even think they ever put out a squad for this, you know. Yo, a bomb place, man, for go for everything. JFF now do them work. Even Bam had the decency to put Haiti Invitational in a theme post. JFF no easy, brother, man. I tell you the truth. All right, this was the U20 squad that went. I just want to let you know, like, based on the man them come in, which one of them I think actually have a shot to get into the final team come October. And then we'll just end off the show like that. The two games, look, I can't really even consider covering any of the games, especially not the first one. It was a joke. It wasn't a challenge for the team. The second game was challenging. The Miami Football Academy looked like there were some players that actually train and you know, play football regularly. You know, so it was a different level of competition. And I think the young Reggae Boyz just needed some time to kind of get up to speed, because first of all, they had played a game the day before. And I just think it was just a different level, that they weren't quite they just weren't quite ready for it, honestly. For real, it would break Sidella's heart. JFF need to stop wasting time and money on these foreigners when we are going to learn these England players don't good. Well, Lensworth Campbell, I think one of the biggest issues right now is that none of the players them not good, whether them England or wherever they're coming from. It's just we just don't have a lot of good players. And that's what I'm seeing on the men's side right now. I'm beginning to worry that the girls may not qualify. It's a possibility. It's a possibility, but it's a expect anything. Yeah, for real. Don't know how I'm still getting surprised. Harris is quality. Harris is top quality. Of all the defenders, she transitions the best. Well, Trace Rose, I was thinking that too from clips, but boy, the last two performances have been shockingly bad. In the stadium, in one of those games, she was terrible. And the first game in this Panama trip, she was horrible. I don't know what happened to her. Like, I mean, and it's not even like, a one and few mistakes. Like literally every time she got the ball, it was just, she couldn't do anything. I don't know what was happening to her. I don't know what happened to her. But yeah, let me just show you guys real quick the squad that went. And I'm just going to tell you right away, look like these people look like they should come back. This one, no. All right, so Joshua Grant, we know he's probably going to be the starter if nothing changes in July of next month. Kevin Hibbert came in from Waterhouse. Jamari Garden from Cavalier. Garden played the first game, pretty much the most of the game, and then Hibbert came on for a time. I think Joshua Grant played in the second game. I don't know. I kind of wanted to see Garden keep because if you remember, for the last trip, it was the Stets keeper and the keeper from Mobe backing up Grant, and they took two different keepers this time around. So I guess that's Austin's one selection. It's gonna be one of those four. It will be Hibbert, Gordon, the Stets keeper, I'm forgetting his name right now, or Tinglin from Montego Bay. I think Gordon probably will be one of those two, and then the other one is up for debate. But I think Gordon probably will be that second choice, especially how he ended off the season with Cavalier. Getting the starting role there. The Mario McIntosh, right back from New England. I think we found another right back. We have Marlon van der Veteran. I think he will probably be in the squad as a second option at right back. It's a grueling campaign, not much rest time between games. So you might have to rotate, especially in those areas. So I think McIntosh does add a good foil for Marlon. The coach, I heard, wanted to see if he could play center back. Didn't see him play there at all over the two games. So I guess that's not really what he will be in the team to do. Which is sad because I think we're a little light at center back. I think Jaquan Brown back in the team makes perfect sense. Left-footed center back, I think arguably right now might be the best center back in the whole team. To me, which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing that he never played the last round at all. And right now in this squad of players, I would say he might even be the best out of all of them. Can we find another center back similar to Jaquan that maybe missed that first round due to whatever reason? Maybe. I think it's a bit late now for that. So it's going to probably be Jaquan Brown and a couple of others. Talbert started the first game, didn't play in the second game. By default, he might get in there again because I don't see many more coming in. And Kai McLean, who didn't play at all in this window, was with the team, but, had an injury, so couldn't play. He was typically a starter when he was in those qualifying games. Him and Talbert started a lot of those games. Late in the competition, Earl got some chances, but Earl wasn't brought to this trip, so not looking good for Earl right now. So I would say McIntosh, Brown, and probably Bent for sure as a left back, definites into that final team. I think Talbert, McLean, I think Kai will be in the team just based on how much he's been used by this coach when he's fit. And I think Talbert might be on the edge, but maybe by default and lack of numbers will probably come into the team. Now, there's a player that's not on here. I thought he would have been on here, but his name is, I think his last name is Campbell, plays for Bournemouth. And yeah, he definitely came in, we thought he was going to be a center back. I did some research when I saw his name in the list and couldn't even find many games of him playing center back, played mainly at left back. So it was just an interesting selection there. Didn't really see him play much center back. I think the first game he got a few minutes, maybe 20 or so, 15 or so. And then second game, I think when he came on, he was even playing left back. So, you know, I don't foresee him coming back again. I think most reports were that it wasn't that good of a showing in the camp. So we'll see, but I think at left back, when you look at Brandon Bent, you know, I don't really see another out and out left back there, but there may be some other players coming back in, like Dante Plunkett, so that should cover that left-hand side in the defensive area. Jaheim Douglas, who was sent home for indiscipline or disciplinary problems from the qualifiers, was back in the fold in this. Didn't see him start a game, which I don't know if that's the best sign for him. I think Jermaine Young might be the player that indeed forces him out, because I think Jump is kind of seen as somewhat of a leader. Even though I think Jaheim Douglas is probably better than Jump. I think they don't see Douglas as an out and out six, but they see Jump as one. And I think Jermaine Young comes in and just takes that role over right away. Even push Santana Headley, who was a six, right into the center back pairing, which I hope that experiment ends. But I think Nolan is good to go. Howell, Campbell Dennis, Jermaine Young, and Jump. I think all those players will probably make the final roster. Now, we see, I did skip over a player that was here, and that is Headley. I don't think he will get in the end, or I shouldn't say will get in. I will say I wouldn't put him in the end, right? Jamon Lyle, I think for me, he did have a good showing in the first game, but I think once you saw him playing what was like a true under 20 level of team, you know, his influence was drastically decreased. Thought Leighton was really quiet in this window, but I think he's probably done his work to prove to the coach he's in the team from the qualifiers themselves. Kimarley Scott probably will think he needed to do more to kind of push his way down into the team. I think he would have been going directly against the Gio Taylors, Oriel Millers of the world, even though Scott really played out and out forward, and Taylor and Miller look to be playing more on the wing. I feel like if Taylor and Miller are going to be wingers, then Jamon Lyle has to make it over both of them. You know, I just think he's much better in that position than those two. Jamani Bell, I thought second game should have done more. He had gotten some dangerous positions, but didn't really finish off with the final action. And just looked to have, I don't know, had a bit of a, you know, he's a demeanor on the pitch, I'll call it. Attitude is there, you can see it. Clever Nugent, unless I'm mistaken, I don't remember him getting a game. Maybe he came on in the first game and I missed it, but didn't play much, which I don't think is the best sign for him, as I thought he was always on those fringes to make the final roster once the players that are touted to come in do come in. What I've heard so far, Seymour Reed, of course, Che Gardner, of course, as an option, as a wing player, midfielder type player. Then you have some twins from Brighton that I've been hearing a lot about as well. The Palmer twins, right? And they are, I think one plays 6, one plays wing / attacking midfield. One plays like 6'8", the other one play like wing, attacking midfielder type attacking player. Those two players I've heard are really good. I've seen clips of them, haven't been able to watch them live or anything like that. You know, I've been hearing a lot about them as well. So I think there are some more players. I just don't know how those players playing where they're playing are going to be able to come and meet up with this team prior to July, because I don't think he's just going to put players in the team before seeing them train with the team or not like that. I don't think that's going to happen. So the key is for those trying to get these players into the team, figure out a way to make sure that the players can get to these camps that I'm sure they're going to have leading up to end of July when they go to play this tournament in Mexico. Rudolph Austin right now, you know, doesn't really have more stuff going on, I don't think. I mean, yes, he'll be preparing. I know he has the Caribbean Cup to play this go around. But, you know, hopefully he can lean on his staff and really hone in on this young Reggae Boyz bid to get to a U20 World Cup for the first time since 2001. It's been a long time since we've been to that edition of the World Cup. So, people, that's it. A little bit over 2 hours for the ball game today. Got all my topics in that I wanted to remember. Tomorrow I will return for some content. We're gonna do the other 6 groups of the World Cup. So if you missed my World Cup programming earlier today, make sure you give it a watch. I did pick out what I thought was gonna happen in the first 6 groups, A through F. We're gonna do groups G through L tomorrow to close out the predictor for the first round or group stage of the 2026 World Cup. But people, it's almost time for tip off. I think we're about 30 minutes away now. So I'm going to rest off a little bit, make sure my beer is cold, and I'm going to get ready to watch this game. So all you people, all you haters going against the Knicks tonight, yo, I wish uno no luck. And I hope uno all vex when the game done. And the Knicks are up 3-1 going back to San Antonio to finish off this blowout series, people. Yeah. Wait a minute, didn't Tyrese come off in that one match without? Yeah, I don't know what happened, and I still don't know what happened. She was off in that match, yeah, and since then too. Yo, Issa. Yeah, man, how the game go, my boss? See them win 3-love. Boy, Madueke and the boy Rogers missed some easy chance. Isaiah turn it. Harris new to the Heat. Okay, could be that. Respect 1-1. Always drop a little thing on the board. Respect my G. Yeah, man. Groups A through F. I'm go through them, and tomorrow I'm gonna do the rest of the group them. Before kickoff. I want to get that in. I'm gonna be busy in the damn afternoon and the evening. Julie have training tomorrow, and me I take her tomorrow. So I won't be at the crib, and I'll be gone for a good while because there's a little trek we have to make to take Julie to training. Julie get recruited to a side that is play very far away, and I made the sacrifice and get her there because it's a better level. She's gonna get challenged way more. So we're gonna do that. Yeah. Big up. All right, people. We're gone, you know. New York Knicks, you know. We're gonna take it tonight, you know, people. 3-1. May I call it from now. When we gonna have a good game, but you see them man, the Castle, them and the Champagne, them and the Vassal, them and all of them. Yeah, man, we're gonna shut that shit down tonight. Bridges are gonna play good. OG, Brunson, everybody. Yeah, man, everybody, them dead tonight, people. Knicks are gonna win tonight, people, man. Tell them that 3-1 we are go up. People, big up on yourselves. I'm Jason Gooner. This is Jason Gooner TV. And if you haven't already, smash the damn like button and make sure the people ever see it. All right, people. 1-1. Respect again in number G. Blessings. We're out. Knicks!